We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And if the content works for you, hit the like button. Michael Saylor on the cover of Forbes. Is that a top signal? Frequently, when the media engages in hyperbole and it winds up on the cover of a magazine, Bloomberg magazine did, the dollar is unstoppable at the top in 2022. We had FTX crypto with meteors shattering, falling to the earth from the Economist, the bottom of the FTX move. We had people wearing ugly Christmas sweaters in 2017 with Bitcoin logos, with the New York Times going, everyone is getting hilariously rich, and you're not. Bitcoin went from 20,000 to 3,000. Actually, we'll cover whether or not this actually is a top or isn't it. Okay, I will go through both sides of the arguments, but I will tell you this. Patreon and YouTube members have gotten the inside skinny. People are short MicroStrategy. That's Michael Saylor's stock. And let's just say the chart work on MicroStrategy is interesting. So is the chart work on junk like NVIDIA and QQQ. Everybody's worried about a top in crypto. I think you should be worried about a top in equities. That's where I think you should worry. Now, as far as crypto goes, we're going to go over how the U.S. administration has just quietly adopted a lower dollar policy. They want the dollar lower. So they're going around and they're telling countries that you either strengthen your currency so you can buy more stuff from us, or we'll just put tariffs on you. That's it. The dollar is too strong. The Fed can't do anything about that. The Fed has left rates too high. They've printed too much money. It's just such a disaster, and there's nothing Trump can do about that. But he does, through the Treasury, have control over foreign exchange policy. And if they want the dollar lower, it's going lower. It's going lower. And, of course, you've heard me say it. The only way out of a debt crisis is to devalue the currency. The only way to sell more goods abroad is to make your currency cheaper. It's that simple. And if that doesn't make any sense, how about this? Dollar down, gold up. Dollar down, Bitcoin up. Bitcoin up, crypto up. That's it. Really, if you want to be super simple, it's dollar down, Ethereum up. Because for all the things you can say about Ethereum, like it's not as good as Solana, it's still money. It's still money. And if they're going to devalue the dollar, they're going to have to do it against all the big cryptos, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and who knows, maybe something like Trump coin or any other made in America crypto. Avalanche seems super perky, if you ask me. Is Michael Saylor on the front cover of a news magazine a top? We'll go through it. Let's welcome who's here first. Okay, Bull Runner first on the stream. Oh, my God, look at people banging away with those McAfee emojis. Unbelievable. Philip is here. Huckleberry Native. Joe Mike. T-Bone. Israel. Rob Martin. Hello. Farmer Sam Forrest. Welcome to the show. Welcome. Okay, we are going to rock this right now. The Hot Mess Express, a new member. Welcome, sir. Crypto Pulse. What's going on? All right, let's talk about the Michael Saylor apocalypse. So naturally, the MSTR2100 meme coin, which we'll look at that chart. It's unbelievable. Bottomed at 20 cents. All right, here's Michael Saylor with that. Why are you short my stock look on your face? Right? Why are you short my stock? Don't short my stock. You're going to get smoked. However, crypto people were like, well, we had a good run. That's it. It's all over. Sell. Buy NVIDIA instead. Oh, I can't do it. I mean, if if MicroStrategy is done and Bitcoin is done, then it's because NVIDIA and the stock market is done. All right. Now, this is even funnier from a guy I used to work with. Dude, they put Michael Saylor on a magazine cover. The entire asset class is now topped for years. It's just kind of a funny meme. All right. MicroStrategy isn't just a giant Bitcoin bet. It's a revolution in corporate finance. Okay. So there's Mike with the orange tie and the combat boots, rocking Forbes. Now, the only thing I will say about Forbes is it's not The Economist, right? The Economist is, like I remember The Economist, like I remember before the 2020 election, the headline was, "Why it must be Joe Biden. It must be." And of course, The Economist was down here at the bottom. Crypto's downfall. And they had one thing in 2019 with the little deceased Tyrannosaurus Rex. 2019. Inflation is dead. 2019. So as long as it's not The Economist, I'm okay with it. And Bloomberg. Bloomberg was like, the dollar is indestructible. All the little other currencies are shattering apart. That was when DXY was at 111. Magazine covers, Super Bowl ads, not good. Not good. However, everyone is positioned short in MicroStrategy. Everyone's short. Like, has anyone ever been on a magazine cover with everyone short the stock? Because no one's short NVIDIA, and they should be, because Web 2 is garbage in every aspect. Socially, financially, garbage. So I'm okay with the guy being on the cover of a magazine, and I understand if you want to sell. I would also understand if you wanted to buy Ethereum. Like if you wanted to just be like, hey, dollar lower, Bitcoin on the front cover of a magazine. Okay, let's buy something else. In other words, one thing that everyone's not considering about Mike being on the cover of this magazine, everyone's like, well, is it a top signal for the market, or did it just kick off alt season? I know one's saying that, except me, of course. Right? Did they just kick off alt season? Did they just ignite ETH by worshiping Michael Saylor? Again, normally you don't wind up on the front cover of a magazine and have it be a contrarian signal when every hedge fund is already short. And people in Patreon and the YouTube member area know what we think about this. Patreon, this the middle tier offering, just got the MicroStrategy, the NVIDIA, and QQQ monthly charts. If you see them, along with the DXY Elliott wave, when you see that, you'll know what to do. Okay, now, naturally, it is instinctual to think that this is a top. I'm wondering if it starts alt season. That's just me. Meanwhile, back at the Europe branch, the ECB cuts rates because everything is fine. You got that whole economic structure is cratering. It's cratering, right? And if there's nothing else to buy, like what are you going to do? Buy American stocks, buy German stocks? Like German stocks have done well, but what's the common man going to invest in over there? It's the same thing in the UK, right? You got to take those euros and you got to convert them into something else. Here's what: the debt-fueled GDP growth isn't sustainable. We're borrowing from the future to pretend the present is improving. Okay, now that's, that guy says that almost every day. National financial conditions remain loose, meaning stocks are up, they cut rates a couple times, and they're getting looser. Powell has completely lost control of the inflation situation, and that could be intentional. Okay. So obviously the Fed has mismanaged everything, and most likely on purpose. And it doesn't matter whether that's true or not. No one's going to undo what they did. No one. The question is, how do you get out of a debt crisis? And the answer to that is simple. It really is. Okay. Trump and Bessent have created a weak dollar policy. Okay. Here's a headline. Bessent spoke with Japan finance minister, discussed importance of U.S.-Japan collaboration. Huh. Oh, what do you mean collaboration? Oh, intervention. What's that mean? Okay, well, intervention is a term from legacy foreign exchange, which means we want you to change the value of your currency, or we're going to agree, more likely, that you're going to change the value of your currency. We want the yen to rise, which is not good for stocks generally. Okay, we want the yen and other currencies to rise. We want the dollar to fall in value. We want our goods more competitive. We want you buying more stuff from us. The trade balance has never been worse. Never been worse. I had something about this. I can't seem to find it. The trade balance is terrible. Meaning we buy more stuff from countries overseas than they buy from us. How do you fix that? You get the dollar lower. Now, Powell won't cooperate by cutting rates any further. How can he? He's still printing money and pushing money out into the system. So he's got interest rates artificially high. He's got the dollar artificially high. And the only thing Trump can do is get the dollar lower by essentially going into the foreign exchange market and getting everybody to agree to essentially move the dollar down, which is why, like the day before Powell opened his mouth, the market took off. As soon as Trump complained about Powell, the market took off, as in the cryptocurrency market, right? Because, okay, here it is, right? Inventories were down, okay? The trade deficit exploded to a new record high. They want the dollar down, and they're offering people a choice. They're like, listen, your currency has to go up so ours can go down. Our goods need to get cheaper, okay? So we can do it that way, or we can just put tariffs on all your goods and cripple you. So why don't you cooperate with us in the currency market, and that might work out good for everybody. The dollar is going lower, right? Look at the gold chart, shall we? Let's pull up the gold chart. I mean, gold has been moving for a while, and everyone in crypto was giving up. Everyone's like, yeah, you know, I'm bearish. It's a top. Michael Saylor's on a magazine cover. Bro, this is chart 101. You go up, you sit in a triangle, you go up. Sell signal over here, no one cares. March on. LuxAlgo, inserting support underneath it. Carry on. Silver. Running stops below the 200-day moving average, busting out of a LuxAlgo triangle, busting above equilibrium. That's $35, $40 silver. ETH does great when gold, silver go up and the dollar goes down. That's it. That's the market update. We'll see you next time. I'm serious. I mean, we're not signing off the show, but, you know, this is the dollar versus the yen breaking. It's like the opposite of gold, right? Now, generally speaking, this type, you know, you don't want this. We don't want this. Okay. This is no good. Okay. We don't want that, because when it goes down like that, that freaks out capital markets. But, you know, we do want some sort of orderly dollar decline, right? The dollar index is just, I mean, this is really sort of more weighted towards the euro. But this, to me, looks like it just like broke. Look at all this FOMO. Look at all this FOMO. Look at them FOMO into the dollar. Oh, the dollar. Right? I mean, people are unbelievable. It's like Michael Saylor's on the cover of a magazine. Sell Bitcoin and buy the dollar. I'm like, no. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. Okay, here's the orange man. Just literally going off on Jay Powell. So the orange man is like, well, you did this, energy production. The Fed has done a terrible job of regulating banks, green energy, fake climate. Okay, you know what? Love the orange man, but he should just say it, right? We want the dollar lower. We want it lower. So does Vance, right? We're sick of the Fed. So he smears the Fed. He says, I'm sick of you. I'm taking matters into my own hands. And cleverly, without mentioning the dollar, he mentions everything else, but they want the dollar lower. So you, as in other countries, you make your currency rise and help us make our currency fall, or we'll tariff you into oblivion. You know, feel free to check my record to see if I'm kidding, because I do that all the time. Dollar's going down. Bitcoin and gold are going up. And if it's not Bitcoin, because of the magazine cover, it could be Ethereum, which is, again, is another thing. You know, it's like if we're going to say a whole bunch of cockamamie things, and we might as well get them all out of our system today. I might as well just knock it all out. Okay, so American students' reading scores decline. Let me ask you something. If there's no hope, why care at school? I read an article the other day that says companies are letting Gen Z workers who they just hired out of college go because they're completely unmotivated, can't show up on time, and generally don't care. What's the incentive to care, right? You can't afford food. You can't get a job, whatever. Okay. The only source of hope in the world, I swear, the only source of hope in the world is crypto. Really. You know, it's not anything offered to you by Web 2. It's not. You're not going to find hope inside ChatGPT or DeepSeek. You're just going to find, you know, I don't know, another mob boss. It'll just be a computer. Right? People can't read. People don't care. People don't work. Why? Because there's no hope. You got crypto, you got hope. And what's unbelievable is everyone in crypto was giving up 2 days ago. Everyone's like, it's a top, it's over. Everyone's saying altcoins won't be the same again. That's horseshit. I'm just not doing it. Okay, MicroStrategy 2100. God bless these guys. I hope they kill it. They bottomed at 20 cents. We'll look at the chart later. USA cryptos. You know what? They're just going to put them all in one ETF. Everyone's like, well, we have to slow down on the ETF approval, and we can't roll them out all at once, says ex-SEC lawyer, because there isn't enough time for us lawyers to make enough money stalling. Look, just put them all in an ETF. XRP, Solana, all the American-made cryptos, CUSA, Crypto USA, boom, issue it. Let's go. And let the central banks and the big wealth funds just start buying crypto made in America. Now would be a good time. This is very important. Norway's central bank, one of the largest sovereign wealth funds in the world, because they have huge natural gas production up there, they bought some MicroStrategy. So we have hedge fund dimwits short, massive sovereign wealth funds and pension funds hoovering it up. Who do you think is going to be right? Let me ask you something. In all of these cases where the hedge funds all do the smart aleck trade all at the same time, they're always wrong, especially when they do it all at the same time. It's always wrong. Always. So, I mean, these guys, these sovereign wealth funds who are buying MicroStrategy, do you think they care that it's like, oh, well, it's worth 2 times more than the Bitcoin that they hold? Wow. They don't care. They want Bitcoin exposure. They want something outside of NVIDIA, right? At least you know what Michael Saylor has. At least when you look at it, you go, okay, well, the company is worth, you know, more than it should be based on the finance textbook, but we can see how much Bitcoin we have. We don't have accounting irregularities, weird mergers, you know, chips winding up in China, whether they should or should not be there for DeepSeek. There's no mystery here, right? I'm borrowing a ton of money and I'm buying Bitcoin. That's what I got. And people are like, okay, I'm okay with that. Now, Forbes is okay with that, but you got to ask yourself, is anyone going to trade off of that? Like, it's amazing. Like, you know, FTX put their label with their logo on a basketball stadium. No one thought anything about it. That was there for a long time. It wasn't like they put the logo up and then they blew up and then they took it off. I mean, it was there for a while. Everybody was okay with the Matt Damon Super Bowl commercials and the football commercials and all these things. Everyone was okay with it for a long time. I mean, this didn't happen like one day. Michael Saylor's on the cover of a magazine. Everyone's like, oh my God, get out. I mean, it is a funny joke. It's a super funny joke, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the people who run these wealth funds, yeah, they're not stupid, especially when it comes to like asset allocation. They're not stupid. They're like really smart people, perhaps some of the smartest people, right? Several Donald Trump branded merch websites enable the Trump meme coin payments via Solana Pay. What? The Trump meme coin is money? The only way to devalue the currency, the only way out of a debt problem is to devalue the currency. So what's going to be the appreciating currency? Well, why not have it be Trump? Why not? They're not going to put them on a $100 bill. So make your own $100 bill and then have Trump. Trump's got a Bitcoin watch. God, I want one. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go. Melania too. Again, the price action and all these tokens that I like, they all suck. But I mean, you gotta ask yourself, like, they're rolling this out for commerce first with their own stuff. And then somebody goes, yeah, I'd like all those Trump people to shop over here. Pump.fun flips Solana and Ethereum in 30-day revenue. Okay. So they love it on Pump.fun. What are you going to do? You can't stop them. But sometimes I wonder, I looked at this and I'm like, is this a top like Michael Saylor? Is this like, oh God, they're at it again? Or is it that the speculative stuff leads the Solanas and the Ethereums, right? The speculative sludge everyone's piling into. And then the next thing you know, Solana, Ethereum, Solana moves on the small coins, XRP moons on Made in America, and who knows, maybe XRP meme coins, and then ETH wakes up with gold and silver. Is Pump.fun a leading indicator, or is it a top? 14 states have introduced the Bitcoin bill so far. Again, the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve will probably not happen at the federal level. They will probably do some sort of like digital asset collective, right? Where they're going to start buying ETFs. The states are going to do the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve one at a time. And they're going to get phone calls from the orange man. They're going to get told to do it. And they're going to do it. Or they're not going to get federal money, or, they're going to wind up on the wrong side of the big man. California will pass voter registration laws to get the federal aid from the fire. They will. Because the orange man, that's the art of the deal. That's what's going to happen. So you'll have the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. It just won't look like what you think it looks like. Meanwhile, the real issue, which everyone is not focusing on, is that the dollar is going lower and they want it lower. That's the most important thing. Like you've been told. Like Eric Trump told you he had Solana in his position. They issued a meme coin. This thing gets out about the Treasury Secretary meeting with the Japanese. The dollar's going lower. They just want it lower in an orderly fashion. It's going lower. And that's great for Bitcoin and it's great for gold. Indiana wants to put Bitcoin ETFs in their retirement system. Okay. You have no idea how big in Texas the employee and teacher retirement systems are. They're massive, right? And this is like an ongoing set of demand. Now, is this priced in? Yeah, maybe it's priced into Bitcoin a little bit, but these guys haven't started buying it yet. And I think the market has become numb to all this talk about big players buying this stuff. Big players are never in a rush when it sits still, but as soon as it starts going up, it becomes much more attractive. Everyone's talking about 75. No one's talking about what happens if ETH goes to 5,000. There isn't one word about what happens if Solana goes to 500 and ETH goes to 5,000. None. No one is talking about that. Everyone is ignoring this and not focusing on that other news. What happens if both happen? What happens if you have governments and sovereigns start buying Bitcoin and Bitcoin ETF while the big layer ones become money, or the Made in America cryptos go, or we just start speculating again? Because that's just in crypto and that's just what we do. We just get after it. Right? In other words, if Bitcoin is on the front cover of Forbes, it must be alt season. Trump media partners with Schwab, expands crypto financial services. Oh my God, Schwab finally figured a way to get in. That's the biggest problem with the banks. Something they don't want in. They just can't figure out how to get in without being embarrassed. Schwab can't come out and say, well, we're going to offer Bitcoin trading to our customers. No, they're cool. They get in with Trump. That's fine. It's perfect, right? He's going to have an everything app on Truth Social that's going to take crypto. He'll have a hedge fund behind it, and then they'll merge with Vance's group that owns Rumble. There you go. Web3 coming right up. It's like the Orange Man's like, you guys can do Web3 or I'll do Web3. Take your time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've only got a media company. My vice president's got a video company. I have a hedge fund and the world's second biggest meme coin, but feel free to take your time. I got all day. I can I can play 18 holes and do more with Web3 in a day than you've done in 2 years, says the Orange Man to Silicon Valley. As long as the Massachusetts Institute of Technology has any association with Gensler, Gemini will not hire any graduates from the school, not even interns, for our summer program. Okay, so I think what we want to hear from Gensler is a book about who's really in charge. I think if Gensler wrote a book that said, I'm against what happens on Pump.fun, that might be true, but that's not really interesting. Who was Gensler really taking his orders from? If I was working at MIT and Gensler said I was going to teach about that in a book, I would hire Gensler, because Gensler's got to tell you what was really happening, who was really calling the shots. And of course, I'm sure that is very scary, right? Everyone hates crypto, right? Like, people don't realize that Gensler being gone, it's not about Gensler. It was about whoever Gensler was taking his orders from. Like, they are not only gone, but they have been replaced by the Orange Man and his personal hedge fund, to be followed up by the Treasury, which is his other personal hedge fund. It's going to happen. Everyone's like, oh, let's complain about Gensler. No, how about Tyler and his brother list something on Gemini other than big cap meme coins? How about that? How about that? Can I buy virtuals on Coinbase or on Gemini? It's like, hey boys, stop picking on Gensler and get the listing Web3. Let's go. Let's go. Seriously. Big U.S. crypto opportunity is not a sure thing. No, you're right. Nothing is a sure thing. And everybody's waiting for the government to pump their bags, but notice the media getting attention, fading it. Question remains among crypto ETF friendly. One ex-SEC lawyer says, don't expect overnight response because the Orange Man is kidding about everything he said he was going to do. You got to be kidding me with this. God, I can't believe I have to read this every day. Love you guys, but this is just so painful. Community members rally behind some random dude in a diner to get rid of Vitalik. Look, man, Vitalik's not passing PR class. No suit, no girlfriend. Come on, man. Come on. They still got to figure out how to clean up Vitalik, but if they have to bring a new guy in, they have to bring a new guy in. Frankly, and this is always the way it works, if Vitalik actually gets kicked out of his own operation, that definitely is the low. Every time Consensus lays people off, it's the low. Like they did this before the election. Consensus laid off a bunch of people. They did it in 2018 after the market bottomed, and they did it again this year. They lay people off, and the market goes straight up. If Vitalik gets fired, that's the low. That's the generational all-time intergalactic low. I still think they should clean up Vitalik. But again, everyone is waiting for Vitalik to make Ethereum into Solana. It wasn't meant to be Solana. It was meant to be a DeFi highway for institutions and money. Ethereum as money, man. Doesn't matter who's in charge. It doesn't. And it's so funny that we think it does. It's like, oh, we don't want centralized control. Oh, wait, marketing for my bag? Oh, yeah, we love that. Let's get centralized control. Let's get a CEO for every coin. Come on, guys. Come on, please. Standard Charter outlines how Bitcoin could go to 130 in the next 2 months. Right? Standard Charter hasn't been wrong about this. The only thing that's interesting is how they're like lowering their targets. Like first it was like Bitcoin is going to $850,000. You know, now it's like, yeah, maybe we'll get to 150 in the next 2 months. You know what? Let's make it 130. Let's be realistic. No, I got a great idea. Let's think like an 18-year-old. Let's think hedge funds are all short MicroStrategy. The general public has not bought Bitcoin yet. Everyone is way too long NVIDIA. The crypto bros all gave up on everything over the last week. Everybody gave up. Crazy. What are we talking about? What happened to our imagination? Folks, in this market, I know it sounds funny coming from me, but you got to think like an 18-year-old. You got to think like an 18-year-old. It's like, listen, this is going up, right? Crypto is the answer. There is no hope anywhere else. It's like Star Wars, right? It's like save the princess, blow up the Death Star. What do you do in crypto? I don't know. You buy some Solana, you buy one meme coin, and you buy some Ethereum, and you hope for the best. Let's go. Get these dollars out of my pocket. You know, everyone's like, oh, it's terrible. Michael Saylor. Well, what do you want on the front cover, dude? You want the dollar? You know, you want a carton of eggs that's $10? How's that working out? Is that what you want? It's like, oh, yeah, look at what the dollar got me, man. $10 for 12 eggs. Yeah. Stop it. God, people today, I swear. Trump and Melania meme coins make push for real world payments in fragrances, sneakers, and travel. Coming soon to a department store near you. And I've said this, people, I know that this is foreign to you, but people my age used to actually go to a store and think it was fun. Like used to go to a mall, used to go to Macy's, you know, take your woman there, get some perfume, get a handbag, get some shoes, get a new tie. That actually used to happen. Really. You didn't do it all on your phone. Now, what is ever going to get anybody back either into those stores or online or off Amazon or whatever? How is that ever going to happen? Well, that's easy. You're going to have to make it more fun to shop, and you're going to have to make it fun to shop with an appreciating currency, which is also fashionable. This is happening. Everyone's like, well, you know, we need regulatory change and adoption. I can't invest until I have regulatory change and adoption. Okay, bro, here you go. There's your adoption. You just don't like it. JP Morgan says Bitcoin has the highest correlation with the Russell 2000 tech sector. Thank you, boys. That is absolutely fascinating. I would like to welcome you to the good ship decoupling, because everything that you've done with statistics doesn't really matter. Like this asset and this asset in stocks and crypto, no, right? If you're going to do asset class comparisons, do the thing that I did that says ETH moves with gold and silver, and even that has sucked. I still think ETH can come back and follow gold. But that said, all of this historical stuff like, oh, well, Bitcoin is leveraged NASDAQ, or Bitcoin is really this, or Bitcoin doesn't fit in a 60-40 portfolio, or look what my math says. Bro, that's out the window. We are decoupling. This is a new game. If DeepSeek hasn't taught you that, I don't care what DeepSeek does or doesn't do. All I know is in 2025, the game could change in an instant. In an instant. And I have no idea how DeepSeek can occur and have everybody not question their assumptions. Really, that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to pick on this stock or that stock, but come on, man. Right? Like, what's the real top signal? Is it NVIDIA or Web2 companies with their stocks at all-time highs right before earnings and guidance come out? This is what they should be telling you in investment banks. No more debanking. Fed chair says U.S. banks are perfectly able to serve crypto customers. It's really funny how things change when the orange man comes in town with him and Melania having a crypto bag. It's just funny how that just all of a sudden, you know, it's like it went from risks to the system to, oh, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, no, who said it wasn't fine? I don't know. You for the past 4 years? Polymarket's still skeptical of U.S. Bitcoin reserve. Okay, they're skeptical on the federal U.S. Bitcoin reserve. The federal is going to be done at the state level, piece by piece, and whatever the government does is going to be multi-asset. It is. It's going to involve ETH. It's going to involve gold, silver. They're going to buy it all. They're going to say, we want out of the dollar and we want another asset. It's going to be their way of telling you that they want the dollar lower without telling you they want the dollar lower. They're going to say, we want crypto higher, and they're just going to let everyone do the math. We want this stuff higher, right? We want the dollar lower. You will do what we say, or we will come down on you. Like FAFO. Remember that? FAFO. Like, what does it apply to? Does it apply to just that one circumstance with some Latin American country with a dictator mouthing off? No. FAFO applies across the board. Forget the FOMC. Bitcoin has plenty of room to reach 108K. Folks, just forget the FOMC. Okay, money supply is expanding. They can't shut the sugar off. They can't. They can't keep the NVIDIA train moving without shutting, they can't shut the sugar off. The only way to shut off or reduce inflation is to cut what the government spends and to have the Treasury get the dollar lower. That's the only way. Everyone's like, oh, it's the Fed meeting. It's the press conference. Oh my God, I can't take a position because I have to wait for the Fed. Dude, the Fed's done for the year. By the end of the year, they're like, oh, is there a Fed meeting today? Yeah, okay. Yeah, whatever. Rates are where they are. That's it. Short-term interest rates set by the Fed don't matter. What matters is set by the bond market. And really what matters is the currency. And Bitcoin is going to be devalued. Bitcoin is going to be revalued versus the dollar. Grayscale launches Bitcoin Miner ETF, and I can't wait. This is just a great idea, right? In other words, the stock market, I know, is going to get smacked at some point, like massively. It's probably going to go down another like 8%, 5% to the 200-day moving average. But man, do I want to get after these crypto equities after they just crush them off the DeepSeek thing. I mean, all these hedge funds are short MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is going to go up like a meme stock. More in Patreon. Okay. In the YouTube member area, we covered a whole bunch, a range of different picks that go across AI, and some of it is lower cap DeFi. We have been on lower cap DeFi, and this, along with crypto stocks, there's got to be a way to start the DCA into crypto equities. Like Riot Blockchain was at 14. Now it's at 10. So if you started a DCA now and lasted 2 or 3 months, by the time the stock market got the NVIDIA bug out, right, or they revalued the Magnificent Seven, all of that money is going to get reallocated into crypto. You can literally see stocks go down and crypto go up. So I'm all about this with Grayscale. Obviously, feel free to tune in. We put like another 7 small caps. Toby talked about what she thinks about the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. I'm always asking her, is ETH dead? She basically said, of course it's not. Stop asking me stupid questions. I ask anyway, right? Crypto must avoid FTX 2.0 in the next bull run. Why is everyone writing about FTX? Did anybody ever hear about the 2018 Bitcoin miner blow up during the 2021 bull market? No, you never heard about it. You never heard anything bearish. It was just like, oh my God, where are we going to buy? It's going up, right? This is like people continue to set themselves up to miss whatever's going to happen. I understand everybody is out there going, well, the banana singularity is going to happen any moment, and my bags are going to 10x when I wake up in the morning. And I do think you are going to wake up and have a 40% up day. Okay, but everyone still talks bearish. Like it's a bull market, but the talk is all bearish. Everyone's like, oh my God, it's a top. Oh my God, it's a problem. Oh my God, DeepSeek. Oh my God, Michael Saylor on the front page. Why do I feel like the only guy who's going, hey, there's stuff in the news that is a massive positive catalyst for this market? No one's paying attention. Bitcoin leaving crypto in the dust in 2025. Bitcoin leaves crypto in the dust. Crypto climbs out of the dust and goes up. Bitcoin drop under 75K before April has under a 10% chance. Okay, now a brief word about this. If Bitcoin does go to 75K, that's because of a stock market crash, period. End of story, right? If you have accounting problems at NVIDIA or Microsoft, any of these companies, right? And you find out that, like, for example, everyone thinks Microsoft is an AI company and they're not. I mean, I don't know how everybody is an AI company when DeepSeek can put its code out there on the internet for free. So I don't know what it is we're buying from all these other companies if AI code is free. I'm just curious. Like, how does OpenAI make money? Just asking for a friend, right? So if Bitcoin gets smacked to 75K, you have an event. And Arthur Hayes is talking about this. I don't know, man. Let's give Ethereum, XRP, and Solana a shot first before we go there, right? In other words, everyone has to allocate normally if there's going to be a problem, right? Sometimes there's a big asset rotation first. Everyone's got to get out of stocks and into crypto. Then when everybody is fully into the crypto pool, which they are not, but when everyone is in, okay, then maybe you got to look out, but not now. Everyone's talking about the market going down. Look at these headlines. I mean, it's just, XRP logged 400 million in DEX volume, right? So I guess if we're going to go trade stupid stuff, we can now do it on XRP. Long-term Bitcoin holders are spending their Bitcoin, a bullish signal. Okay. The outlook remains constructive while long-term holders can continue to distribute their coins. Okay. So I don't know if this means they're buying other coins, they're diversifying, they're buying real estate. I don't know. I like Michael Saylor's theory on Bitcoin. I like this idea that if you have $10,000 in Bitcoin, you'll survive Skynet. World's largest sovereign wealth funds has more exposure to MicroStrategy and Bitcoin. And it goes on and on and on. Okay. Now, there is something which I'm going to strongly recommend. Okay. It is an article that came out just before we came on the air. Inverting the human agent AI relationship. Now, this is a 12-minute read. It's from Multicoin Capital. I saw it just before we came on the air, and I strongly suggest you read this. These guys haven't been, the only thing these guys were wrong about is about when to sell some of their Solana, but they never did. They wrote it all the way down to 10 and it came back. Okay. These guys are like the smartest people in crypto when it comes to publishing this kind of research. I strongly recommend that you read it. Okay, let's go to live TA. So Ethereum held at 3,000. Thank God. This is a 4-hour chart of Ethereum. Okay, all Ethereum really has to do to get it going is climb back above, like, say, 3,350. As a point of information, Ethereum hasn't moved in years. Like, Ethereum is exactly where it was when FTX started. It hasn't moved in years, literally. I mean, yeah, it went down, went back, but like ETH is where it was prior to the last crisis. So I don't know how much cheaper could it get? These are monthly charts. Again, if ETH ever did a monthly close above, I don't know what this is, 38.90. Yeah, then you'd have gangbusters. Again, monthly charts will be featured in both Patreon and the YouTube member area. Okay, Solana monthly. One big thing about Solana is notice how this month, January, was the third month that they banged on this support at 180. Also notice, you see this 4. Okay, that is usually the month or the candle where you get a dip in these DeMark structures. Okay. Also, there's additional hints here that you're looking at a big emotional new high in Solana, which could unfold over 5 months. So that means January is 4, then February, March, April, May, June. So if you're looking for a top in Solana or in altcoins, it could be June. Imagine 5 up months in Solana, and imagine, I mean, what was Solana trading at yesterday? Like 220? I was like, oh yeah, I don't want Solana. It's just the 2021 high. I mean, this was like venture capital pump vaporware. Now Solana is actually doing something, and they've got the world's biggest, most used meme, as far as I'm concerned, in the Orange Man's coin. That's what they got. Like, oh, Solana, Pump.fun. No. Solana, home of the Orange Man's meme coin. You don't have to like it. It's the way it is. Okay, XRP. Strong like bull. Okay. Daily chart doesn't move. Monthly chart, 3 more up months. 1 through 9. So February, March, April. Okay. I could believe in like, you know, sell in Easter and go away. That is possible. Sell in May and go away. Sell Easter. Some of these coins may not stop though. It's not all going to be evenly distributed. Now, I'm not going to show you the QQQ chart because that's for Patreon members, and you're not going to believe that even if you saw it. You're going to wide buy crypto miners so fast, your head's going to spin. Okay. Bitcoin on the daily chart. This looks like a trend restart to me, right? You go 1 through 9. That's the first part of a trend. Then if it doesn't reverse, which it hasn't, okay, a new trend starts that can last 2 weeks or longer. So right now we're at the 4th part, and then you can go out and have 13 up days, or excuse me, 9 more up days. So you could have a very robust February in Bitcoin. Meanwhile, back at the Michael Saylor ranch, everyone's short. Everyone's short. Now I can't show you the MicroStrategy monthly chart because I don't know. In many ways, it's not like it's, oh my God, but it's like very simple. The fact of the matter is everyone is short this stock and it has not moved. If this stock is so horrible, when crypto went down on DeepSeek, it should have gone to 250. This should have just broke. But of course, it can't break because everyone's short. How can it go down? There's no sellers. The people who own it. They're not selling. That would be the Norwegian Sovereign Wealth Fund. They're not selling. So who's going to sell? Nobody. And then if this becomes a meme stock, right, which is why I think you have to watch the actual meme coin, right? You have to watch MSTR 2100. Like, this is now worth paying attention to, because if this meme coin keeps going, right? Because this meme coin is destroyed, right? This was trading at a $50 million market cap at $3.50. And then, of course, like all these meme coins, they get destroyed. Everyone gives up. But the simple fact of the matter is, I mean, do you see who's following this Twitter? Right? In other words, when you look at who's following the Twitter, the guy from Zero Hedge, Crypto Dog, the OG, Mike Novogratz. So you might not want to be short Michael Saylor. I'm just saying, right? If you think risk assets have topped because NVIDIA is bullshit, okay, maybe, right? But I don't, this doesn't feel like a top to me. This is like, oh yeah, this is out of control. This is ridiculous. Really? I don't know. I don't think so. Feels like everyone's headed for the door for very, very, very strange reasons, right? Very strange reasons. Okay. I am sharing a screen of my own face. Okay, Anti. All right. Daniel is upset about antivirus. Let's talk about antivirus. Right on. All right, let's do it. Okay, so this is a coin about an AI agent that works via Twitter. That is a recreation of the most infamous character in the history of crypto, John McAfee. Okay. John McAfee wrote the Declaration of Cryptocurrency Independence, right? He also told you that nobody will ever use Bitcoin because it's clunky and slow and you need privacy. And yeah, so I like the guy at multiple levels. If I had more hair, I could practically be this guy. Maybe I can't replicate the stunts into personal life, but you get the point. So they brought this guy back from the dead with an AI agent associated meme coin that would be used to purchase privacy products. For example, you could buy a private SIM card for your phone, right? And then buy a gift card privately with the privacy coin, with antivirus. So antivirus is not a privacy coin. It's a coin you use to buy privacy services. So if you wanted to be on a phone and shop at Target without anybody knowing that you were shopping at Target or whatever, you could do that by buying the services that these guys provide. Now, naturally, Twitter, not seeing somebody being resurrected from the dead, because the original McAfee Twitter feed had 1 million followers because he was literally famous, literally, died under suspicious circumstances after being thrown into a prison in Spain. Like his wife couldn't get the body back. It's like it was a movie. She was recently on a Twitter space, right? She gave me some love on the space and vice versa. Now, this coin, yes, we are waiting for Twitter to come back. This thing was trading at 100,000 market cap when I found it, $200,000 market cap when I found it the first time. It went through a very clumsy token relaunch, went to 80 million, and now it's back to 5 million, which was the high market cap of the first token. And as you can see, like everything else, people simply can't wait to sell. It's like, oh my God, take my antivirus, take my virtual. Yesterday, everyone's selling virtual below $2. Okay, bro, you do what you need to do. All I know is this: with DeepSeek, this gives teams like the Anti, enough ammo to use these open source models to make talking McAfee, podcasting McAfee you can interview. I mean, can you imagine what happens when you have this guy? You can't replicate this guy. I couldn't become John McAfee the exact replication, because like the guy slept in an office for 2 years to make the antivirus program that made him famous, right? When PCs first came out, 2 years in an office, he slept there to make that program. Now, of course, when it launched, the program had 10 million users in 2 weeks. And then he proceeded to get in trouble with the law. Then, he has a really unusual personal life, but he's also kind enough to where he comes into a village in Belize where children are starving. He built a cafeteria in his school that the whole village could eat at. So this guy cannot be replicated any other way except to feed his writing that the team has and his videos and everything he ever said or did into a model and have it recreated. So he was a totally unique person, and then you bring back a totally unique person with a totally unique model programmed by material that's not necessarily all public, and voila, you have a crypto influencer. Name one crypto influencer today. Name one, right? I mean, I like Wendy O and FD White. I like those guys, right? That's who I like. But do we have somebody who could get the entire planet on board with crypto? Yeah, we do. His name's Michael Saylor, and he's on the cover of Forbes, and we all want to sell. We all want to sell. Just like everyone is doing whatever it is they have to do in antivirus, everyone's like, oh God, let's sell. I think they can sell all they like. A year from now, come check back with me, because I'm not selling. This thing goes down anymore, I'm buying. That's what all I can tell you. All I've ever told anybody about antivirus is what I'm doing. At 5 million market cap, I'm buying. Okay, let's see who else is here. Let's see what else we got going on. Okay, there will be other antivirus spaces. And even if there are supposed to be, and even if they're not, a full suite of update videos are coming out on my YouTube channel. I've been collecting stuff. I am just about to go crazy. Okay, we have multiple requests here, which I have to bang out quickly. Okay, virtual is very simple. The bottom was at the 62%. of the overall rally. By the way, that McAfee rant that I was just showing, he's talking about Bitcoin being not his favorite because you can't run a smart contract on it. It's like, you know what? I think that was the original argument for Ethereum, if I'm not mistaken. It's funny, right? Everything today, it's like, hey, Michael Saylor on the cover of Bitcoin, of Forbes. Maybe it's time to buy ETH. It's funny. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a boomer. Okay, virtuals held at the 62% retracement of the overall down move at 2. Everybody thinks all coins are done. Fine, good. Continue to think that. It never trades good at a bottom. Okay, Algorand, a made in America crypto. Let's do it over here. Okay, naturally, because things don't move, they get boring. And when people get bored, they get out. This is what bull markets do, right? They literally bore you out of trades. They bore you out. They push you out. It's like I'm getting pushed out in I'm getting pushed out in virtuals, and I'm getting bored out in Algorand. You get bored out and pushed out, and then all of a sudden you wake up and it's like, boom. Dollar devaluation, altcoins up. Woof. That's just what it's going to be. Algorand sitting on a LuxAlgo equilibrium level on a 2-day chart at 38 cents. False breakout, most likely from this big formation here. If it reclaims 45 cents, it can go to 63 or 70. Or you could just look at Algorand on a bigger picture basis and just simply say that this is the bigger the base, the higher in the space. And my name is Buck, and I'm just going to take it up, right? It's sitting on the 200-week moving average, and equilibrium is $1.40. So I'm long Algorand, and I'm not selling, right? I'm just not. Like, everyone's like, well, this is the last decline, and shut up, and I'm tired of everybody hearing and saying bullish things when the market sucks. Okay. Right? You know what? Like, I can't even ask Toby Ward, Toby, is it going to be all right? She's like, shut up, man. Go to the gym. Don't talk to me about this. Don't get weak. You know what I mean? That's just what happens. Like, the market messes with your mind, and then, you like kind of turn into gush. And I understand that. I mean, do you think I like looking at AIntivirus at 5 cents? Not really. But then I did something that Andrew Tate talked about. It's like, I changed the way I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Why don't I change the way I think about AIntivirus at 5 cents? I'm like, well, you know what? This is where the old token, that was the old high. It's nothing more than a retest. It's a retest. And how nice that you thought it was going to go to the moon, and then whatever happened on Twitter, which is unfortunate, but I think that eventually ends. Because I don't think they can take an AI agent off Twitter. Then every other AI agent is going to go somewhere else. Because I mean, obviously, we're the first person to bring someone back from the dead, which, again, as soon as it gets back on Twitter, it goes to 25 million. Anyway, Ski Mask Dog, there's a huge fight at the 62% retracement level, right? Every time it goes up, everyone sells. Okay. You can't get the parabolic price action in some of these coins that you need. And I think what Ski and assorted base coins need is ETH, right? That's the problem. It's like, why hasn't virtuals gone back up? Why can't Ski Mask go back up? They need ETH to ignite that ecosystem. Anytime Coinbase would like to start listing their own coins is okay with me. It is, right? You'll have so many people flying into Coinbase because Coinbase is like, hey, did you know we have this like altcoin farm that when we bring them to the farm up to the big leagues, that's when you should check it out? Who's in charge of marketing at Coinbase? Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All these big exchanges. It's like, it's not a bull market. It's not a bull market until you guys start listing the stuff that people might want. Alchemy Pay. Let's check it out. Wow, 27%. People, you got to watch out for anything traded on Coinbase. This is the flip side, right? If it's on Coinbase and normies are like, wow, Michael Saylor's on the cover of Forbes. Hey, I better go to my Coinbase account. This is what you get. I don't know anything about this, but this is clearly the bigger the base, the higher in the space. Probably overdone short term, but like longer term, dude. Wow, this Williams oscillator was very powerful going into today. Again, I think it's more of an example of what can happen. Okay, I got to wrap it up there. I went on too long. Listen, Michael Saylor on the cover of Forbes is not a top in crypto. It may be a pause in Bitcoin, but I think it's a signal of a top in other aspects of the market, like stocks, where people are not going to get the returns. Check out the YouTube member area for more from me and Toby Ward. We will see you tomorrow.